Welcome, everybody. We're in the top of the eighth in the first game of the National League Championship Series of 2006. The bottom of the sixth inning saw a three-run homer by Cliff Floyd, who's the Met left fielder, and that gave the Mets a 5-3 lead. They were trailing by one run thanks to a Pujols home run in the top of the third. And for the Mets, Glavine is still in there. Weaver started for the Cards, but he was replaced by Tyler Johnson, who is going to be replaced now. And let's see who we bring in. We're in the top of the eighth inning. Tom Glavine going for the Mets. And we're going to see batting for the Cards is Wilson, Preston Wilson, Albert Pujols, and Edwin Encarnacion. Score is 5-3 Mets. So we're using the Strat basic rules, and game is moving along quite well. It looks like let me see if we got, looking for the Cards' next pitcher. Okay. 6. All right. It would work better if I looked in the pile of the Cards rather than the pile of the Mets. Okay, we got one potential. There he is. Okay, Brad Thompson will be coming in the bottom of the eighth inning for the Cards. He's warming up in the bullpen. So let's get started. It's going to be Tom Glavine pitching. And this is the Memorial Series tournament, whatever you want to call it, to Holiday, who was a pitcher for Phillies and passed away recently. We have him here, kind of watching over the game. And here goes Preston Wilson. Let's say 4 is going to be off Glavine's card. A 4-5. A 4-5 is a strikeout. That's Glavine's 6th strikeout of the game. Albert Pujols. We're also showcasing our new baseball field in blue, Met blue. 3-7 is all off Pujols cards. A 3-7 is a walk. So Pujols manages a walk, second walk of the game for Pujols. He walked in the first, homered in the third, and flied out to center in the fifth. And it's Encarnacion. And Encarnacion had a okay season in 2006. He batted .278. 25 doubles, 19 home runs, 79 RBIs, slugging of 4.43. Encarnacion is going to be off Glavine's card, a 6-9er, and that's going to be a split number, and that's going to be a 1 triple, a 2 double, and that's going to be a double. So the Cards are going to hold Pujols at third. And Encarnacion is standing up at second base. And Scott Rowland actually had a big hit in the first inning. He hit a 2-run double with runners on first and second. And in that case, there were 2 outs, and Pujols came around. So the Mets are gonna look and see. It's in the 8th inning. We're going to bring in Moda. We're trying to follow the as close as we can to the original lineups, make it as historical as possible, within reason. And I'm looking for, okay, we got Guillermo Moda, and you can see his card here. He's got a 4-3, 1 loss, a 4.53 ERA, so not the best pitcher in the world, but he may serve our needs at this moment in time, hopefully. So we're going to color that in. We're going to bring him in green. And he's going to face Scott Rowland. Johnson. Okay, so here goes. It's going to be Scott Rowland with second and third. The Mets are up by 2 in the top of the 8th inning. It's going to be 2-11. A 2-11 is going to be a line out to the second baseman, Jose Valentin. So Rowland lines out to Valentin, and we have coming up now, we have Jim Edmonds. Jimmy Edmonds, the center fielder. He batted .257. He had 18 doubles, 19 home runs, 70 RBIs, and 350 at-bats. So if you, let's say you double that, just to simplify things, he actually has a card where he hit about almost close to 40 home runs. So he's got some power. Now, we don't want to put the go-ahead runner on. At least that's how I manage it. So we're going to pitch to him. We could pitch to the next batter, Belliard, who's a .216 batter, but I'm sure then they'd bring in a pinch hitter, and I'm sure they have somebody a lot better than .216 in the on the St. Louis bench. So yeah, they can bring in guys like Chris Duncan at .293. Actually, in this game, their pinch hitters were Rodriguez, Bennett, Miles, and Spezio, who's already in there. So Miles batted .263. So yeah, we're gonna pitch to Edmonds, and even though he does have the power, you know, he's got home runs at 5, home runs at 9. Okay, let's see what happens. Here's Guillermo Mota pitching to Jim Edmonds with Encarnacion at second, Pujols at third, 2 outs, and the score, Mets 5, Cardinals 3. It's a 6 off Mota's card. A 6-11 is a fly ball X. So the right fielder for the Mets is Sean Green. He's a 4. I roll a 20. A 4, a 20 is roll it again. So let's see what happens here. That's another roll. It's an 11 this time. A 4-11 is going to be a double, and that ties the ball game. So Jim Edmonds doubles, a 2-run double, scoring Encarnacion and Pujols in the top of the 8th inning, tying the game at 5. So with the go-ahead run now at second base, the pitcher spot, where I thought it was Belliard, it's the pitcher spot. So we're going to face, let's see, Rodriguez, Bennett. Let's see which one. Gary Bennett, 223. Let's see if I have Rodriguez's card. He played in this game as well as a pinch hitter. John Rodriguez. He batted .301, and that's who they're going to bring in to pinch hit. So John Rodriguez, let's turn that a little bit so you can read it. John Rodriguez is going to pinch hit for the pitcher Tyler Johnson with the go-ahead run at second base. And here goes. See what happens. It's going to be a 2-4. A 2-4. It's going to be splits again. And it's going to be 1-16 is a triple. And Johnson hit 3 of those in only 183 at-bats. So in a full season, he would have had 9 triples. It's going to be a triple 1-16 and a double. It's a 5. So it's going to be a triple. And that's going to score Edmonds at second. So there's a pinch hit triple by John Rodriguez for the Cards. And that's going to bring up Yadier Molina. Yadier Molina is going to bat. Just calling in. And we're going to, at this point, we're going to walk Yadier Molina. We're going to walk Yadier Molina. It's going to be first and third. And we're going to pitch to Scott Spezio. So it's going to be Mota versus Spezio. And it's going to be a 1-2. And that's going to be a fly ball to center field. The center fielder, Beltran, outstanding glover, is going to make the third out. Makes the catch for the third out. And all the damage has been done, though. The Cards score 3 runs in the top of the 8th to take the lead, 6-5. And here we go to the bottom of the inning. It's going to be for the Mets, Delgado, Wright, and Floyd, with Thompson coming into pitch. Going to grab Thompson here. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The Cards just scored 3 runs in the top of the 8th, and they're now leading 6-5. Brad Thompson is going to be the pitcher. Brad Thompson is going to face Carlos Delgado, David Wright, and Cliff Floyd. And Delgado had a tremendous season. This is actually one of the better Mets lineups that I've seen in a while. 265, 30 doubles, 38 home runs, 114 RBIs, on base of 361, a slugging of 548. So Delgado has some power. Here's a pitch. It's going to be off Carlos Delgado's card. It's a 3-10, and that ball, if you can see it, is gone. The game's tied. Carlos Delgado got a hold of one and tied the game at 6-6, off a Brad Thompson fastball. David Wright, score now tied 6-6. David Wright also batted .311 with 40 doubles and 26 home runs. But his career is taking a turn for the worse. Hasn't really played in the last 3 years with back issues. I don't know if they're spasms or what his injuries are exactly, but it's related to the back. Here goes. It's going to be a 3-3. It's a ground ball to the third baseman, rolling over to first, 1 away. Cliff Floyd, 244 batter, 11 home runs. Cliff Floyd. It's going to be a 1-7. A 1-7 is going to be a single, 1-14 single. And it's a 15. So it's a line out to the second baseman. That's 2 away for Brad Thompson. And now Sean Green. Sean Green batted .277, hit 31 doubles, 3 triples, and 15 home runs. He's the Mets right fielder. It's going to be a 1-9. A 1-9 is a ground ball to the second baseman. The second baseman flips over to Pujols for out number 3. So the Mets score 1 on the home run by Delgado and tie the game at 6, going to the top of the 9th. Okay, here we are in the top of the 9th inning. Glavine is still in for the Mets. We have the shortstop, David Eckstein, Preston Wilson, and Albert Pujols, the top of the order for the Cards. Let's bring out Glavine. It's going to be a 4-7. Off Glavin's card is a single. So Eckstein, not really a base stealing threat, is at first with the go-ahead run. So the Mets are going to bring in Billy Wagner. They bring in Billy Wagner. He's going to go in red now. Billy Wagner is going to replace Tom Glavine for the Mets. And we have, batting for the Cards, is Preston Wilson, who is going to bunt. So we're going to throw down 2. We're going to look at the bunt chart. It's a 6. On the sacrifice, batter is thrown out by third baseman, runner advance. So it's a successful sacrifice. It's 1 out. And the go-ahead run is at second base. And Albert Pujols is the batter. Albert Pujols versus the Mets closer, had 40 saves. Billy Wagner, a 2.24 ERA in 72 innings pitched with a 3-2 1-loss record. So let's see what happens here. Albert Pujols. It's going to be a 2 off Pujols card. That's no good for Wagner. A 2-6. A 2-6 is a pop out. A pop out to the shortstop, and that's Reyes. He calls for that, and that's 2 away. And now it's Edwin Encarnacion. And Edwin had a 278 year with 25 doubles, 19 home runs, and 79 RBIs. Again, I think in 2017, 2018, he's going to a new team. I think maybe Cleveland. I'm not absolutely sure. Or I think it was last year that he went to Cleveland. He was with Toronto a bunch of years and had some all-star years in Toronto, that's for sure. Okay, so there's 2 outs. The go-ahead run is the second in Eckstein, David Eckstein. And here goes Encarnacion against Wagner. It's going to be a 6-11. It's a fly ball to the right fielder, Green, X. Let's see what happens there. It's a 20. That may be another roll. It is. Roll again. And that's a 16. And that's going to be a single and an error. And the go-ahead run comes in to score on an error, a single and an error, by the right fielder, Green. So we're going to get going to give him an RBI. He would have scored anyway. The error just allowed Encarnacion to go to second base. So now you have Encarnacion at second. The Cards have taken the lead. Excuse me. And Scott Rowland is the batter. It's going to be a 1-11. Off 1-11 is a ground ball to second base. And that's going to be it for the Cards. But the Cards pick up the go-ahead run and scored by Eckstein. Encarnacion drives him in with a 2-out single. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. The Cards are up 7-6. And in the 9th inning, we're going to see Valentine, and then left fielder for the Mets. Let's pull in a left fielder for the Mets. Who's going to bat after Valentine? Andy Chavez. And then we're going to get to the top of the order, Reyes. So let's pull in. Let's grab the closer for the Cardinals to pitch in the bottom of the 9th inning against the Mets. Let's look and see who the closer was. Saves. I'm just going by the saves. see who has the most saves. 33 saves. Jason Isringhausen. All right, Jason Isringhausen is going to pitch for the Cards. And it's going to be Jose Valentin, batted .271, 24 doubles, looks like 18 home runs, and a .330 on-base percentage. So he's going to face Isringhausen, the closer for the Cards. It's going to be a 3. Off Valentin's card, a 3-5. It's going to be a fly ball center field. One away. And now it's going to be Chavez. Endy Chavez is going to bat. Endy Chavez hit .306 with 22 doubles and 4 home runs. It's going to be a 6-6. A 6-6 is going to be a walk to Endy Chavez. Endy Chavez is a base stealer B, but with Molina behind the plate, we're not going to be stealing any bases, that's for sure. But he can get around the bases for sure with a 1-15, and if there's a point where there's 2 outs, it'll you'll tack on another 2 points, so that'll be 1-17. So that'll be good in case we have to score him. So Jose Reyes had a tremendous season. 300 average, 30 home runs, 30 doubles, 19 home runs. You wouldn't think that a leadoff batter would have that kind of power. He stole 64 bases, on-base percentage of .354. So the tying run is at first base in Chavez. And here goes the roll against the closer for the Cards, Isringhausen. Jose Reyes. It's going to be off Isringhausen at 4-10. 4-10. It's a ground ball. A slow chopper to the second baseman. And Chavez advances to second base. So he's in scoring position. And now it's the catcher, Paul DeLuca. Paul DeLuca, tremendous season for a catcher especially. 318, 39 doubles, 5 home runs, not much power, but he has a really strong average. And that's who the closer for the Cards is going to have to face. 2 outs. The tying run is at second base in Chavez, Endy Chavez. He's got some speed. So let's see if we get a single. And it's going to be a 6-7. A 6-7 is a walk. So the inning is prolonged with a walk. So now the winning run is at first base in the form of LaDuca. Doesn't run very, very well at all, but we're going to bring in a pinch runner. Somebody who can scoot a little bit around those bases. Chris Woodward. Let's see. Chris Woodward. Looking for somebody who can come in to pinch run. Okay, we got Chris Woodward, who's a 1-14, but we have another guy here. Anderson Hernandez, a utility type, second base, shortstop type. And he can run as well, 1-15. So we're going to bring him in to run for the catcher, LaDuca. So he's going to become a 1-17. And Beltran, Carlos Beltran, he batted .275 with 38 doubles and 41 home runs and 118 RBIs. So he's a heck of a hitter for the Mets, at least in power numbers. And here goes, 2 outs. Tying run is at second. The go-ahead run is at first. Isringhausen, here's the pitch. And it's a 5-6. A 5-6 is a strikeout. And Beltran goes down swinging. And I believe it was this championship series where Beltran, in the last game with 2 outs and the bases loaded, took a pitch for a called third strike, which to this day people remember that called third strike, that he just stood there and watched go by. And that's the game, guys. The Cardinals, it was a very exciting game. We picked it up in the 8th inning when the Cards were winning by a run. And the Mets tied it up in the bottom of the 8th. And then in the top of the ninth, Eckstein scored on an Encarnacion 2-out single. And that was all she wrote. Final score of the first game of the 2006 replay is the Cards 7 and the Mets 6. Take care now. Remember to like and subscribe and to comment. Appreciate it. Take care.